Now at 1, new LA Mayor Karen Bass officially rolling out her plan to deal with the growing homeless crisis. Good afternoon. This is the KTLA 5 News at 1. I'm Glenn Walker.
And I'm Lou Parker. We're going to check in with Lauren Lister now. I believe she's in WeHo. She's talking about the crime statistics being up this year.
Explanations from city officials as to what is behind these numbers. First, let's take a look at them. The main data that was revealed at a city council meeting last night. Part 1 crimes like homicide, robbery, burglary, so far this year have come in at 2,428. That compares to 1,562 by this time last year. But also officials point out this year is closer to pre-pandemic averages of 2,100 or so Part 1 crimes back in 2018 and 2019. Here's a look at some of those incidents caught on camera this year that we've reported on. Now, the Sheriff's Department and city officials note the first 6 months of last year were impacted by pandemic-related closures to businesses and entertainment venues, so not as many opportunities for crime in many of those cases. And this year, theft, like petty theft and vehicle theft, well, that has accounted for 68% of all Part 1 crime.
As we see our entertainment venues and nightlife reopen and more or less are operating normally, that certainly attracts an elevated amount of visitors, and unfortunately, that becomes an opportunity for crime. And so we certainly keep a watchful eye on that.
Now, as far as the public safety side of things, according to that city official, the city councils voted to reduce the number of sheriff's deputies by a net loss of 1 deputy in the new year compared to the beginning of 2022. At the same time, they've been enlarging the ranks of unarmed security ambassadors who cannot make arrests but are meant to be extra eyes and ears for law enforcement and also help with issues involving the unhoused. They also help escort residents. Back out here live, some residents do have concerns over the cuts to law enforcement at a time when crime is rising. I'll have more on that. You'll hear from them at 3. For now, that's the latest live here in West Hollywood. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you. And back to our other top story. Mayor Karen Bass's new initiative on combating the homelessness crisis will focus on offering housing in hotels and motels to people living on the streets.
KTLA 5's Elena Abovian has the details on the new plan.
Hi there, good afternoon. Well, LA Mayor Karen Bass, she showed up to the LA County Board of Supervisors meeting this morning, and she spoke to the board, she spoke to the public, basically asking for help for the county to step up its efforts in helping the city. We're considering now we are in a state of emergency regarding this homeless crisis. Here's a listen.
Getting people housed is the #1 priority. But on day 1, you get them housed, and on day 1, they have services. That's the only way for it to be successful. It is the only effective approach to this crisis, is one that is unified and comprehensive, and is only possible with a deep partnership between the city and the county.
And the mayor got that partnership today. The board voted to lend efforts and resources to the city. This was agenda item number 22, a motion introduced by board chair Janice Hahn and also Catherine Barger. It calls on LA County to step up its efforts to help the city fight homelessness. This is directly in response to the state of emergency declaration filed by the mayor earlier this month. The mayor showed up today essentially to speak to the board, making the argument that this is a regional issue and not just a local one. Under this motion, the county will instruct the directors of health services, public health, public social services, and mental health to support the city. Additionally, the county will help